New rock. New York. New rock. Live music and promotion.
How are you guys?
Good, good, good.
What's going on? Robin Trower all the way?
Yes, we're waiting for Mr. Robin.
What you got here?
Got some of my classic albums. Bridge of Sighs, City of Dreams, Long Misty Days, Twice Removed from Yesterday.
And what's your name?
We've been here since yesterday waiting. We're hoping to see him. Hope he comes out and says hello to us.
What's the plan of action?
Well, we're going to wait here until they open a door, and then we're going to slide in through the side door upstairs and grab some free food and look for Robin.
Where are you guys from?
I'm from Connecticut. He's from Philadelphia.
What's your name?
I'm John. I'm Steve.
Where are you staying tonight? You're going back home?
Yeah, we're going to go down to Philly, back to his house.
Okay.
Party up. And then we're going to go and see the show later on.
You got your tickets already?
Yeah, we got to pick them up.
All right. Well, thanks very much.
All right. Thank you.
Hi, we're here with Robin Trower, New York New Rock at the Beacon Theater in New York City, where they're serving up Robin Trower and Peter Frampton tonight. How you doing, Robin?
I'm doing very nicely, thank you.
So you're out on the road with Peter Frampton, and you've been out here for about a month, and you're promoting your new album, 20th Century Blues.
Correct.
And so, how's it going?
It's going great. It's really interesting to play to some new people that perhaps haven't heard me before or for a long time. You know, playing to Peter's audience is interesting. You know, it makes it a bit more of a challenge, and they seem sort of a little bit surprised at first and then get right into it. You know, it's great.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of nice that you both are legends and you're both out. Do you find it difficult or really challenging to see the people that are familiar with you out there calling out your old songs when you both have new albums out? I mean, how does that make you feel?
Well, I think it's great, obviously, to have songs that people desperately want to hear, and I'm going to call out for them. But at the same time, I've been very happy with the response to the new material. It's been great.
How do you rope in the new kids? I mean, I know that I'm sure a lot of them know who you are, but on the other hand, you want to try to reach out to those younger kids that are buying records nowadays, CDs.
Yeah.
And so is there any special way that you go about trying to reach them?
Well, just by doing as much of this kind of thing as possible, you know, speaking to as many writers, press, radio, people like that. It's just an inch by inch sort of task, but the more we play in across the country, you know, the more people we're going to reach.
Right.
Yeah.
And you're really digging into the blues here, and it's really nothing new for you. I mean,
that's true.
you have your roots are, you know, in the blues and that. What do you think about all this people saying all the blues, the new blues, the blues? I mean,
well, that's kind of a long answer I would have to give you, but obviously all of my songs and everything, right from when I first went solo and earlier with Procol Harum, was very much coming out of blues, but I was trying to be progressive. The difference with this album for me is that I haven't tried to go forward. I've tried to go back. You know, without losing my own identity. I've tried to you know, find more of the nucleus, you know, the actual starting point of it all, and draw from that and try and write songs around that kind of ideal. It is an ideal that has got watered down over the years. You know, I'm talking about going back to people like Arthur Big Boy Crudup and T-Bone Walker and Son House. You know, I'm saying very, very early 40s, 30s stuff. You know, I've tried to go back. Although they were always in my roots, I was always trying to move forward away from them. With this album.
why were you trying to get away from them?
I think because as a writer, you're always trying to be creative. You know, so you're trying to perhaps be progressive. You want to move forward and create something a little bit different than has been done before. I always tried to maintain a connection with blues on everything I did. Some things more successful than others, but with this one, I decided not to be shy about it and to be blatant and go back and really dig in. And I'm very happy with what I've been able to come up with.
Well, I think you're allowed to do that,
Yeah,
right? You're the
that's
artist. When you went into the studio to do the album, had you written a lot of it and already planned it, or
Yes.
did you just?
The whole concept of the album was that it was all going to be material that would work live in front of an audience. So I had to write the songs, get the band together, take them on the road, and try out all the material first, get it really hot. And basically, by the end of about 10 weeks on the road, we went straight in the studio for a week, banged it all down, and that was that. It was just a live thing, really.
Mm-hmm. And you feel it worked out good,
Yeah.
because you're back, right? You were here in the fall.
Yeah,
right?
that's when we were just about to record the album. In actual fact, when we were last talking,
Where'd you record at?
we recorded in a studio in Palm Springs.
Oh.
Yeah, and it was lovely.
And then
Really.
you came right back out onto the road again?
No, and then I had to go back and I had to produce
on
Brian Ferry's
Brian
new
Ferry's
album.
new album. Tell us some about that.
Well, it's a great. I think it's probably his best solo album to date. It's called Mamuna, and it's coming out in I think September.
Mhm.
And we're all very, very pleased with it.
And so you were working with him on it, but you're not going to go out on the road, right?
No, I play too loud to play with Brian. That's the trouble, really. And he's got some really great musicians on the record that are going to be playing on the road with him. I didn't really play very much on the album anyway, so.
You helped co-produce it, right?
That's right.
And
Yeah.
Did you help write some of it?
Oh no, it's all Brian's
Okay.
compositions. Yeah.
Now, how did you pick or get together with your band that you have on the road now?
Well, Livingston, I met on a tour of Europe I did about 3 years ago called Night of the Guitar, which featured 8 different guitar players, all playing with the same backing band. We did about 20 minutes each, and Livy was the bass player, and I got chatting with him one day, and he just said to me, we were talking about B.B. King, and he was saying, I'm thinking about doing a dance version of The Thrill Is Gone, right? So I said, well, if you do it, I'll play guitar on it. And we did mess about with it a little bit, but from that we sort of decided, well, why don't we form a band? Livy, I liked Livy's voice, and so and then he brought in the drummer, and things went on from there.
History, right?
That's right.
So you're out on the road now, and there's some pretty stiff competition out here this summer, huh?
There's a lot of people out.
Stones,
Yeah.
Floyd, you, Frampton, the Eagles. I mean,
Everybody and his brother, basically.
all, everybody from the past. So you guys bumping heads out on the road out there?
I haven't bumped into anybody yet, but I just missed Elton John the other night. He was in the same hotel, but I think
gee.
we were coming out as he was coming in. So, but everybody's out, as you say. It's and not everybody is going to be able to fill the theatres or arenas or whatever with so much competition.
How do you feel about all these bands, just like yourself, the Eagles? They hadn't been around for quite a while, Pink Floyd, they hadn't done an album in like 7 years. I mean, it seems like everything's coming full circle.
Yeah. Well, I feel very comfortable with something like the Eagles because it is all the original members.
Right.
I feel very comfortable about that, and I don't think that's not a rip-off or anything. But
Right.
I'm a little bit wary of bands, where like one of the key guys or some of the key members are not
I know
there,
you don't want to talk about Roger
Yeah.
Waters and Pink Floyd, and
Well, I wasn't going to bring it up.
I would like to talk about it, but I know you're rather diplomatic. Well, yeah, it's some people don't even know key members are gone.
No, I appreciate that, and I'm sure all those bands turn in really good shows. It's just I personally, if I liked what they were doing when they were happening, I just can't deal with something where a main voice or a personality or whatever is missing. It's very difficult. It'd be like going to see you know, the Muddy Waters band without Muddy Waters, or you know what I mean. It's
I feel the same
There's
way,
always
yeah.
a key. There's always that key guy, isn't there?
That
You know, and if
element
he's-
that
if he's-
can't. Yeah, I understand. So, what do you see in the future? You're going to come back and.
Yeah, I'm hoping to get back at the end of the year to do some more touring and continue to promote the record. You know, with it out on my own label, you know, it means I'm going to work that much harder to introduce people to it.
Right. So obviously you're doing a lot of press and
I'm doing
whatnot.
as much as I can, you know, but I at the same time I try not to let it interfere with the energy I need for playing live, and so I have to keep it under control, you know.
Are you writing new material also as
I
you're
am.
going along?
Yeah, I've started to work on the next batch.
Yeah.
I think it'll be a while though before we get to do it, because we want to do Europe, Japan, Australia next year, so I think it'll be a while before we get in the studio again.
Do you feel that your process of making music has changed much over the years?
No, not really, because my whole solo career is based on me writing songs that come from playing guitar parts that I really love to play. And that hasn't changed a bit. I still write everything around these guitar things that I really love to play. You know, they're usually invented first, and then I put a song to them. It's all about that. You know, it's the enjoyment of the love of playing the instrument. Really, that is the energy that spurs the whole thing.
Well, I think that's what comes out in your music that grabs the audience, because they can really tell that you love it and that you're putting your heart into it. It's not like, well, I want to make money, or, you know, I've been away so long, I don't know what else to do. I think that you can generally feel that coming off.
No, I genuinely, I really love to play the guitar. It's, you know, it's what I do. It's who I am as well. You know, I mean, I can't separate myself from it really. It's a great thing. It's a great blessing, no doubt about it.
Yeah, but I'm sure it's had its miseries too.
Well,
Want to talk about those?
there's always that side of it. Yeah. No, I always think I've lived a pretty charmed life, to be honest. You know, a great marriage that's lasted my whole career, and 3 wonderful children, and I get to play
Your
guitar
own
every night. You know,
album,
what else
your
could
own
anybody
label.
want? That's right. Yeah.
Good for you. Well, we're glad to see you back, Robin, and
Thank
we
you
look
very much.
forward to seeing you in the future.
Thank you.
Good luck.
What are some of the criteria you look for?
Well, the thing that makes a great guitar for me is the actual acoustic sound. It's got to have a great acoustic sound. I use very heavy strings, quite a high action, so that the strings really ring, you know. And that's where the sound comes from. You can't really recreate it in the amplifiers or effects or anything like that. You either get it out of the instrument itself, or you know, it doesn't. It's always going to sound synthetic otherwise.
Say what you want. I ain't ever gonna change my mind. Do what you want. you turn aside and cry through 1,000 tears, I would still be here for you. I would still be here. I would still be here. I would still be here for you. Give it